Hi, my name is Ellie, and I want to welcome you to my blog. I made this site because when my husband was diagnosed with end-stage liver disease in 2013, I found myself spending almost all of my free time researching different alternative treatments that could help him to reverse his cirrhosis. The doctors kept on saying over and over again that there is no way to reverse cirrhosis, but I just felt deep down in my gut that there had to be a way because I am a huge believer in the theory that the body will do just about everything it can to heal itself if you give it the right tools. When my husband was at his worst, he had a MELD score of 28. He looked like a walking skeleton with yellowish, greenish, gray skin with a huge abdomen, and he had 21 liters of fluid drained in just 1 week. The doctor sent a priest into his room plus another person to tell him to get his affairs in order. And he also said that he would probably have to go on disability and his only hope was a transplant. He developed encephalopathy, crashed and totaled his car, and he looked so sick that when I had to leave on a week-long trip, I asked a neighbor to please ask her mom to watch him. And she actually declined because he looked so much like he was on the brink of death. My neighbor was worried that her mom was going to walk in and find him dead, and she was concerned that it was going to traumatize her mother. And I'm sure every spouse of someone who has cirrhosis is very familiar with that feeling of walking into a room and you find your loved one sleeping and you feel like you have to check and make sure that their chest is still going up and down to see if they're really still breathing. But today, a lot has changed. And after spending literally thousands of hours doing research and putting together this blog, I can tell you that he is in a totally different place. And no, he never got that transplant. We started experimenting with different techniques. We learned what worked and what didn't, and 11 months into his recovery, he could actually beat me walking up 5 flights of stairs, even though in the past, I was usually the one walking ahead of him. 2 months later, he was off all of his prescription medications, and he had been on 6. That same month, he felt so much better that he decided to go to the track and see how fast he could run a mile, and his son actually clocked him at just over 8.5 minutes. And mind you, this is with no training at all. In January of 2016, he had a FibroScan that showed that his score is 9.37, which means technically that he is no longer in the cirrhosis stage, and he has actually gone down to stage 2 liver disease. The marker for cirrhosis is 12.5, and we're hopeful that he will just continue to improve. Today, he can go on 12-mile hikes. He works 50 hours or more per week at his job, and he just got a very well-deserved promotion at work. I want to encourage other people to please consider alternative treatments because from what I've seen, some of them really do work, and I mean really well. And we spend a lot of time and money figuring out which ones work the best. Obviously, I'm not a doctor and I can't give medical advice, but I've just learned so much, and I love talking to other people who are in the same situation because I remember too well how frustrating it was back in 2013 when I was panicked and I didn't know what to do, and the doctors were giving us very little hope for his recovery. Over the past 2 years, I've been in touch with hundreds of people who are in the same boat as we were, and I know how frustrating it feels when you don't know what to do and you just need some hope. My goal is to give you that hope as well as to share with you some really effective solutions that got my husband to where he is today. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call me. You can reach me directly at 567-623-9355. And please know that I am always happy to talk to people who are going through this, no matter what your situation is. It's very rewarding for me to help people with cirrhosis because I know how difficult it was to watch my own husband going through it. Thanks for visiting my blog, and I hope I get the chance to speak with you in the future.